What's up, you guys? Steve here with your stimulus check update and stimulus package update, and we have confirmation. The next stimulus package, known as the Build Back Better plan, Congress is currently working on it, and they're saying it is going to pass, and in the same manner in which the American Rescue Plan passed, which is through the process of reconciliation. That means no Republican support as long as Democrats can stay unified. They're going to be passing this next stimulus package. Now, this is all unfolding while America is currently receiving the one that just passed, the American Rescue Plan. Right now, people are getting their stimulus checks, the unemployment extensions are being worked on, and we're going to be seeing that child tax rebate rolling out in the form of monthly checks. Now, this Build Back Better plan, which is going to be the name of this next stimulus package, we don't have all the details of it. We just know it's going to be focused on infrastructure, and it's going to be the largest stimulus package we've seen so far. We've heard quotes of $2 trillion, $3 trillion, even as much as $4 trillion, depending on what they want to include. And we're hearing rumors that Democrats are saying it is time for monthly stimulus checks, not only a fourth check, but also reoccurring monthly checks till the end of the pandemic. And a lot of people are saying this is going to be the introduction of universal basic income, or UBI. And they're saying that they're already introducing it with the child tax rebate. As you know, the one that just passed, if you have children, you're going to be getting monthly stimulus checks for those children. Now, also, they're talking about additional unemployment extensions being included as well, and a lot of other provisions. So in this video, I'm going to be diving into some articles that are coming out regarding this new infrastructure bill known as the Build Back Better plan. We're going to be looking at some video footage that came out from Bernie Sanders, and we have confirmation from Democratic leaders across Congress that this is going to be coming out here very soon, and it will be passing through reconciliation. So you guys, we're going to dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as of today, March 19th, 2021. And once again, if you want a status update on the current stimulus check, the third one that you're supposed to be receiving, check out the videos that I've uploaded giving you the latest from the IRS. And as the unemployment rolls out, I'll keep you up to date. So we're going to dive in here in just a second, but before we do me a quick favor. If you like and appreciate these video updates, keeping you up to date on stimulus, unemployment, Congress, the economy, anything having to do with investing or money, take a second to smash the like button. I would appreciate it. It helps me out. It helps out the channel. Like button, comments, and sharing these videos out on social media platforms to anybody that you think might be interested. It helps out the channel. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time here and you're not already part of the viewing community, what I like to call the Ram Fam, feel free to join by smashing the subscribe button to stay up to date on everything rolling out, and turn on the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload, you can get notified right away. And if you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. And always remember, you guys, that here on YouTube, when I respond, you'll see a gray stripe on the name. If you don't see that, it's not me, even if it looks like me, because unfortunately right now, there's a lot of scammers on YouTube screenshotting my photo, creating channels called Steve Ram, and then leaving random phone numbers in the comments, and then asking you to give them their bank account information. You know, listen, I'm not here to take your checks or your money. I'm here to help you get your checks and your money. And if you'd like to get exclusive access to me and these articles before they hit YouTube, consider joining the Patreon group. But you guys, let's go ahead. I'm going to dive in and get you caught up on the latest on the fourth stimulus checks that could be included in this upcoming infrastructure package, monthly checks, and all the latest details that we have. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, you guys, so we're going to be discussing the four stimulus checks, monthly checks here in just a second. But before we get to that, first, letting you guys know we have confirmation. The infrastructure bill is being worked on. Confirmation, it will be likely passing through the process of reconciliation, since they're expecting no GOP support, and also some video footage getting this confirmation from Senator Bernie Sanders. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First up, link in the description below to this article that just came out a couple days ago if you like to see it for yourself, and it says, Pelosi, big, bold, and transformational. Infrastructure bill is coming. And it says House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Sunday pledged swift work by Congress on a job and infrastructure package that will be fiscally sound, but said she isn't sure whether the next major item on President Joe Biden's agenda will attract Republican backing. And they're pretty sure, just like the American Rescue Plan, there will be no Republican support. So in order for them to pass this, they are once again going to have to go through the process of reconciliation. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, what about Senator Joe Manchin, that moderate Democrat who gave us trouble with the last package? Well, what we're hearing is they believe they can get him on board to pass another stimulus package, but he's saying he will only support it if we can offset the debt we're going to be adding to the country. Now, if you want to get more updates on that, check out this video right here that I uploaded, as we have heard a response from President Joe Biden, who said taxation is on the way. Now, reading on the article says, fresh off of a major legislative victory on the $1.9 trillion relief package that passed on near party lines, as you guys know, no Republican support, Democrats face a long and tough battle ahead in winning GOP endorsement of the administration's plans. So you guys, we're hearing there's not going to be any Republican support, and in order for them to pass this, it's going to have to go through reconciliation. Now, as a result, we're beginning to see articles pop up like this. Take a look. It says, Senator Bernie Sanders signals he expects to use reconciliation for infrastructure. So they're saying they're going to be going through the same route that we saw for the American Rescue Plan. So we're going to be diving into this article, but first, let's take a look at some video footage of what Bernie Sanders had to say.
Let's not kid ourselves. The progressive movement for the last number of years and grassroots organizing has had a very significant impact on changing consciousness in America. What happened is the Democrats, we passed a very strong bill. And you know what? As you've indicated, 75% of the American people like it. And you know what? When we raise the minimum wage to $15 and we guarantee paid vacation time and we do paid family and medical leave, and when we create millions of good paying jobs, rebuilding our infrastructure and tackling climate change and taking on the fossil fuel industry, the American people will like that too. So the issue we're dealing with is, will the Democratic Party, and we're off to a really good start, have the courage to address the crises facing the American people, even if it means taking on the big money interests who have so much historically had so much historical influence over the legislative and economic life of this country.
So there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, as we heard him say that there's 75% of Americans that support this, that there's pretty much bipartisan support across America. What we're hearing is not in Congress, and they're saying that they feel like they're doing a good thing helping out the American people at this time. Now, there are a lot of concerns being raised right now about the debt that's going to be mounting up as a result of all this stimulus. But what they're saying is they believe addressing the need right now is more important than what could potentially be coming down the road. Now, let's go ahead and dive into this article and see what they had to say about confirmation that not only will this bill be coming to the floor, but also they're going to be passing it through reconciliation. The article says that Senate Budget Committee Chairman Bernie Sanders said Tuesday that he wants to use a fast-track process for infrastructure, appearing skeptical that the package could get enough GOP support to defeat a filibuster. What I have seen this year and in past years is that if we want to do something significant, it is going to be very hard to get Republican support. So the devil, of course, is in the details. If Republicans are prepared to support a significant and important piece of legislation that deals with climate change, deals with infrastructure, that's great. My own feeling is, at this point, I doubt that that will be the case, Sanders said, confirming to us that reconciliation is likely going to be their path forward. Now, you might be wondering, so what's going to be included in this next Build Back Better infrastructure package? Well, we don't have all the details yet. As a matter of fact, we're waiting to see those unveiled here any day now. But what we're hearing, like I said, this is going to be the largest package we've seen so far, and we've heard rumors that Senator Ron Wyden and several other progressive Democrats are calling for further extensions of unemployment benefits, and we've actually seen letters urging President Joe Biden to provide not only a fourth round of stimulus checks, but also monthly reoccurring checks. Take a look at this article, link in the description below if you'd like to read it for yourself. Just came out a couple days ago, and it says a fourth stimulus check might be on the way. With the third round of stimulus checks beginning to hit taxpayer bank accounts this week, many are wondering if there will be a fourth round of stimulus payments. The American Rescue Plan was signed by President Joe Biden last Thursday in an effort to provide financial relief to individuals, businesses, and communities hardest hit by the pandemic. This marks another round of stimulus checks, the third since the pandemic first hit a year ago. Now, according to Politico, some Democratic members of Congress do not feel that a third stimulus check is enough. 2 months before the new relief package was signed, 50 Democratic members of the House of Representatives signed a letter asking President Joe Biden to prioritize reoccurring direct checks, which means stimulus checks that occur after certain amounts of durations over and over. And what they're saying is monthly stimulus checks instead of a one-time stimulus payment. Now, the letter published by Politico states that another one-time round of checks would provide a temporary lifeline, but when that money runs out, families will once again struggle to pay for basic necessities. One more check is not enough during this public health and economic crisis. Now, as you guys know, back in January, we had heard from Representatives Omar and AOC saying that we needed to get monthly stimulus checks out, that one-time stimulus checks were not enough, and they were calling for $2,000 per person per month until the end of the pandemic. Now, we had heard that in January, but then also in the beginning of March, while this stimulus package was being worked on, we heard from 11 Senate Democrats that were pressing for reoccurring direct payments and also for further expansion and extensions to unemployment as well. And now also, just this week, we've heard from Andrew Yang, once again, who is running for the mayor of New York City, who is calling for UBI, or Universal Basic Income, once again, of $1,000 per month per person for anybody ages 18 and up. And this is starting to come up, and we're hearing that this could potentially be a possibility in this Build Back Better infrastructure bill, which, if it is included and Democrats can be unified on this, it absolutely could be a possibility. As you saw, the American Rescue Plan passed without any Republican support. This could be a possibility. Now, once again, the question remains, will Democrats be unified? Can they get moderate Democrat Senator Joe Manchin and others like him on board? We will see, and I will keep you up to date here on the channel. So you guys, that is the latest that we have on this new infrastructure bill that is going to be coming out here very shortly, known as the Build Back Better plan, that could have the fourth stimulus check and potentially monthly checks rolling out. Now, as soon as that comes out with the details, I'll be sure to let you guys know right away here on the channel. I'll keep you up to date. And as unemployment rolls out, I'll keep you up to date here as well. And you guys, if you made it this far and you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you're not already a part of the viewing community. Follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. Join the Patreon group. And you guys, I hope this reaches you well. Take care. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. This is Steve.